After enjoying this wonderful, beautiful cinnamon roll, I knew I had to teach it to my core foodies. Hey foodie, welcome to another mouth-watering episode inside Foodie's Mansion. You see how beautiful this snack looks? I'll teach you how to make it. Let's start from the beginning. And now, let's get started. We'll start by activating our dry active yeast. In a bowl, you would add 3/4 cups of warm water, not hot water, 2 tablespoons of powdered milk, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. You mix this together and you allow it to sit for 3 to 5 minutes to get activated. How you know that your dry active yeast has activated is you would see foam or say bubbles at the top of your mixture, just like this. At this point, you know that it is well activated. If it doesn't activate like this, you could leave it for longer or try some other dry active yeast. To this, I've added 1 whole egg. I would also add 1/4 cups of sugar and 1/4 cups of melted butter or margarine. I'll give this a quick stir until I know that my egg is well whisked. Thereafter, I'll throw in my baking flour. You need 3 1/2 cups of all-purpose baking flour for this. I'll sieve this gently and I'll start mixing. You can do your mixing with your hand or you can do it with a spatula, whichever is more convenient for you. Or if you even have a mixer, that would be way more better. So I'll start mixing and then later transition to kneading once I get the consistency that I need. I noticed that my dough was a bit stiff, so I added under 1/2 cup of warm water, not cold water, not hot water, warm water to continue my kneading. At the point where I was done mixing the bowl, I transferred it to my working surface, spread some all-purpose baking flour on my working surface, and transferred my dough to my working surface to enable me knead my dough properly. I kept kneading this until there was no more lump, there was no hardness felt on any corner of my dough. You want to knead this with the end of your palm. This will help you get the necessary pressure that you need to apply on your dough. You do this gently, but press it firmly for about, say, 5 to 10 minutes. Once you're done, you'd grease your bowl with either margarine or vegetable oil. I used margarine for mine. After greasing my bowl, I threw my dough inside, rubbed it around, and then I covered it to allow my dough rise for about 30 minutes until it was double in size. You could cover yours with either a cling film or a kitchen towel. While that's rising, we'll make our cinnamon roll filling. You need 1/2 cups of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon powder. We'll mix this together until we're sure that it's properly mixed and we don't have lumps of sugar hanging around anywhere. Once we're done mixing this, we keep it aside and check on our dough. 30 minutes later, our dough is properly risen. Like you can see, it's doubled in size. You gently deflate this, transfer it to your working surface, and start spreading it out in a rectangular shape. Of course, always remember to spread some all-purpose flour on your working surface so that your dough doesn't stick to your working surface. I'll spread this out with a rolling pin. Now, you don't want it to be too flat. You want it to be, say, a 1/4 inch thick after rolling it. And like I said earlier, you don't want to roll it in a circular shape. You want to roll it into a rectangle or something that looks like a rectangle. Mine wasn't a perfect rectangle, but at least I got the length and breadth of what looked like a rectangle. Once you've achieved that, you want to spread some soft butter or margarine on your dough. This will help your dough to capture the cinnamon feeling, or should I say, it will help the cinnamon feeling to stick properly on your dough and also give your cinnamon roll a juicier and a creamier feel. Once this is done, you want to start spreading your filling on the buttered dough. If you like the cinnamon filling and you want more sugar or more cinnamon, please feel free to do that. It all depends on your taste bud. I'm not so much of a sweet tooth, hence the quantity of sugar and cinnamon powder that I used. But you want to make sure that you spread this out properly to every corner. Once this is done, we'll start rolling from one side of our spread out dough. You want to roll this firmly, you want to roll it tightly until you get to the end of your dough. You could use any style you want. You could cut this into heart shapes, you could plate it, whichever is more convenient for you. Now I've greased my baking pan with some margarine. I'll set this aside and then I start cutting into my rolled dough. Once I cut, I place it on my pan and allow it to sit there while I cut the rest of the dough. Now we're done and we'll place them on our pan. We'll cover this and allow it to rise again for another 13 minutes. You can cover with a cling film, you can cover with a kitchen towel, whatever you have that is big enough to cover this dough, but the aim is to allow it to rise again. This whole activation would help you get the perfect texture from your cinnamon roll. 30 minutes later, our dough is properly risen. We'll uncover this, fix them where needed, and then we'll throw it back in the oven to bake. You'll be baking your cinnamon roll at 180 degrees for say 20 to 25 minutes. 25 minutes later and our cinnamon roll is properly baked. You can make yours darker or even lighter in color if you don't want it to bake so much. This was the color I wanted and I got it. I like it dark golden brown. Guys, this was so beautiful. At this point, my house smelled like a garden of cinnamon. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me hear in the comment section how yours went. I'll be waiting. Thank you, foodie, for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share. I'll see you next time. Bye, foodie.